And welcome back, everybody, to More Balls, brought to you by the Wrong Bias podcast. We are at East Kilbride again for the 2023 IIBC World Junior Championships, and we are down to the semi-final stages, and that's the semi-final lineup so far. We've caught up with the men's semi-finals this morning. We're concentrating on the bottom two games, well, the bottom of the shop anyway. It's the mixed pair semi-finals, and we have got Ireland, Australia affair. Shauna O'Neill and Ryan McElroy taking on Jesse Cottle and Nathan Black. And in the commentary box, we've got the coach from Hong Kong, Les Carter, who may not have a not too far away accent.
Yes, I was born in Durham, but I was only one. So when I came over in the boat, so I think it's all Aussie now.
Is it all Aussie? Have you lost the twang?
Oh, definitely. I didn't have the twang. I wasn't speaking.
You weren't speaking.
My parents did, though, so I could understand them quite well. So if I go back, I don't have too much trouble understanding them.
Now, Les is on to give us the insight into the Australians. I'll put it right in the spot there.
Yeah. We have. I can give you a fairly good lowdown on Nathan. So
right.
I've been lucky enough to have Nathan with my South Australian state team when I was coaching South Australia. So he's a local SA boy. So I've seen Nathan from when he was probably, 12.
Right.
And then developed through to playing in our state team and played very well. And he's just keeping on. He's got his berth as a fully fledged jackaroo now.
Has he?
Yes.
Oh, good. Very good.
All the boys are calling him the Blackaroo. No, he's a good lad. Very passionate about his bowls.
Right. That's the main thing, mate. Does he enjoy it?
Yeah.
Half the battle is if you enjoy it, isn't it?
That's the key, yeah. And Jessie, don't know as much detail on Jessie, but I do see her around often. She's again a rising star from the eastern seaboard.
Right. Well, I know nothing about the two Irish.
I've seen Shauna.
I've seen Shauna. Did she go down to Australia to play?
Yes.
A little bit.
Down there, the multi-nations and also World Bowls. And I think Shauna also played at Dunarty in the last year.
Because it's a different world down under, mate, isn't it, bowls-wise?
Yes, it's all about being outdoors in the sun.
Right.
So this is a bit of a shock to us, but the venues are really nice. The greens are really nice. We don't play on any of the wooden base surfaces.
Do you not?
No.
What's the base?
The bases are normally concrete.
Concrete, right.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of indoor facilities. We've got a lot more which are built under a large dome, a large fabric dome that's waterproof and keeps all of the elements and the sun out. But they tend to be more a felt type carpet rather than the woven carpet, or also they're a sand-filled artificial grass.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I've got you back on. Yeah, you are. Right. So, let's put your money where your mouth is here. Who we're going for here? With your Aussie twang, you've got to go for Aussie, haven't you?
I can't do anything else but go for Aussies. I think having played them, or having them play against us last night, they had a really close victory over us. So, we've got to at least say, let's hope they go all the way and we can say we were beaten by the winners.
Oh, you kind of say, it's a horrible term, that, man, yeah?
I don't mind it.
You know.
But they have been, I think these two are, or both pairs have played very well from what I've seen. I think we've got probably the better of the 4 pairs out here at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
So the cream rises to the top.
Well, they always do. They always do, unless it's me and it's clotted and I'll just sink to the bottom.
Oh, well, I'll go the other way then. I'll say Ireland.
Ian's gone aye, that puts me on it. Well, I'm just going to sit in the fence like I always do and take the Fifth Amendment.
Now, I mean, I watched the game against Hong Kong last night, and I said on the previous stream that I thought Hong Kong played really well and Australia hung in there, but they were on the ropes all the time, really. And then the second set, the last 10, I think it was a 3 for Australia.
Yeah.
That got them in the tie break, and then a couple of good bowls in the tie break just got them over the line.
Yeah, it did. It was what we'd term in Australia as a dirty win.
Yeah. Aye. No. So how did you get the job anyway? How did you get the job of Hong Kong coach?
Well, I was working as a state coach in Adelaide,
right?
And Hong Kong tend to send every year their youth team for they call it an exchange program, but there's not much exchange. I think there's only bowls exchange, but they travel all the way around the world to different areas,
right?
And they had a group of 16 of their young up-and-coming players that are in their youth team. They came to Adelaide, so I did a few coaching sessions with them there, and it was a bit of fun. And I happened to be on holiday coming back through Hong Kong, and we hadn't been in Hong Kong since 1995 when we came back from holiday, and I thought, I'll just offer up to do a couple of coaching sessions in exchange for an authentic Cantonese dinner. And unbeknownst to me, the dinner turned into a job interview. It was none of my plan, but that's what it was. And the next thing I know, I'm coaching Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, yeah, great. No.
Then COVID got in the way initially, but the last couple of years has been really smooth and really good, and they're a great bunch to work with.
Yeah, well, good.
So I don't know if the moral of the story is don't go on holiday and incorporate bowls. I don't know.
Yeah, the moral there somewhere, yeah. But you wouldn't have gotten the job if you didn't.
No.
So here we go. They've had the trial ends. And they jump into the first end of 2 sets of 7. I always get asked, what's the format, Richie? There we go. 2 sets of 7 ends, tiebreaker, big fight, 1 end shootout.
Who do we think's going to have the first sitting toucher?
I think Shauna must go close because she's brought the mat up to a length that she's probably comfortable with. High up. No, that's me out the window. Just for your information, Sean is using Taylor's size 1. Massive size 1. I said to her she must have been a 6 or a 7 in them hands. It's only 1. And Jessie's using Drake's professional size 3.
So for their route to get here, Shauna, so Ireland and Australia were in the same group, and Ireland topped that group with 3 wins, Australia second with 2. They came through Canada and Wales, so that's who they had in their group, and knockout stages. We've already talked about Australia. They knocked out Hong Kong yesterday. And Ireland took out South Africa 2-0. There's a couple more stats.
He's a stat man. Jeff Stelling, you'll not know who Jeff... You might know who Jeff Stelling is.
No, I don't.
No, he's off Sky. He used to be on Sky Sports, but you wouldn't have seen that now. Oh, he's a fellow who does all the football programmes, and he's loads of stats.
I'm a bit of a stats man myself with bowls.
Yeah.
For sort of reporting and things like that. I always like to know my numbers.
So what numbers do you look? What numbers do you look for? Are you looking at touches or runners or
looking at
results?
Looking at how often our players achieve their set targets. So they may have individually set that they expect to have a minimum of one bowl within a mat length each end with their first two bowls, or skippers, how often do they convert, how often do they add counters with their last bowls, how often do they miss opportunities or get opportunities, that sort of thing. I think it has a bit more bearing on the outcome of the game than just straight, did they bowl within the zone or not the zone.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more results based.
I know the Malaysia outfits seem to be very thorough from what I've seen. They seem to video a lot of them, and the deliveries, as Ian said in the last stream, the deliveries item was just flawless. Like, it was very smooth.
Yeah, there's deliveries is interesting. You could just look out here now, and there'll be 4 different deliveries on the track here.
Yeah. And you've probably seen people who've had the dirtiest delivery going, and they still nail it.
Yes.
Still quite effective. But all I say about the delivery is if you bounce it, if it's inconsistent, you can still play well, but you just give yourself more opportunity for things to go wrong. And when you're really under pressure, it's just when those things will just go wrong that little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. The other thing that catches people with deliveries is the surface. If you're playing on a quick surface, you can make a lot more errors than you can on a slow one.
And of course, these are my favourite balls coming up. The trivector colours. I cannot stand them, Les. I cannot stand them. Just do my head in.
These aren't they're only 2 colours.
Oh, they're only 2.
So they must be acceptable.
Oh, they'll be all right. If they're only 2, no, they're still not got it.
So do you prefer...
If they go the other way.
Yeah, the other way, or then you can have these as just the straight duos where they're half.
Or you
and
get
half.
the slice, isn't it? Yeah.
So these have the vision that they look like they're going really fast and then slow down quick,
Yes.
whereas the duos look like they never stop.
Right. Cross Rory. Nice together. Blair.
I don't think Nathan will be shy with this.
No, I think that's something what I've noticed about watching Australians, that they're never shy coming forward. Is that something that they're coaching them?
Or typically we're coaching play the easiest shot you can play.
Right.
That gets an effective result.
And Australia is really fast, so it's difficult to play those running shots. So you do resort to the draw drive.
Yeah, very hard to play 2 metres away.
Whereas we're used to, on a good indoor rink, being able to play it, so that's more the UK style for indoors.
Well, he's definitely up. Well, it's gone back up the wicket.
For a 1. Maybe.
Well,
Has it
is it
stopped
far
yet?
enough?
I don't think that's going to be 20 metres.
I don't think that's 20 metres either.
It's interesting, they're actually measuring the bowls, not the length at this stage. No.
I'm just looking at how far that mat's 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 spots. Oh, they are doing the job. What do you reckon?
Have we got any guesses? I think it's
I
about...
think it could be up that,
19.
No, I think it's a bit
19.
short.
19, I think.
And obviously they measure straight to the jack, not up to the centre.
I could be right there, son.
Oh, still going back. Nathan's
Is that
Nathan's
the Australian
that
one?
Because we play 21 metre in Australia.
Oh, just lost
It's our
three.
minimum length.
Well, that's gone.
Yeah.
God.
So minimum 21 in Australia.
Minimum 21, yes. So, and on the quick greens, it makes it pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Well, interesting start, to say the least.
The 3 bowls at the end that counted were nearly closer than the 2 that were touching the jack after the reset.
Yeah.
Well, they had a close game in their group stages, these two, so they went to a tie-break, which was taken by Ireland. So looking forward to a good close match again.
Yeah, I think in their group stages there wasn't many sets lost between the two of them.
So was the Hong Kong pair the two actual national champions? Or were they selected by the association?
Selected because we don't have an under 25
Right.
indoor. Our under 25's outdoor.
Right.
No, so we normally select our 2 and we generally share it around a bit and use it as a development program as much as anything. So give them all an opportunity here and there to.
Well, why not? You get the experience, isn't it? It's great experience for them coming over. And what's your thoughts on 3-ball pairs to 2-ball pairs as a coach?
As a coach, are there certainly different tactics with the 2?
Do you think the 2-ball's more the draw?
If it's 2-2, it's played exactly the same as singles. If it's 2 or more, or 2-2-2-2, that becomes quite a very strategic game. 3-bowl is a good game.
Yeah,
I think it gives opportunities for both either player. You have an individual player that dominates, can actually really set the game up. But if 2 players are just playing an average sort of game, they can also win.
I prefer the 3rd ball. Like, I think it gives the 2 balls all draw to me, and the 3rd ball you've got that shot option.
Yeah.
We're over in the UK. We just play 4-ball pairs. All our national competitions.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I'm not that was introduced in Australia for a little while, and I certainly wasn't a fan.
Well, you're not.
It's just it seems to me it's just a skipper's game.
Yeah. Do you play 3-ball triples over in Australia or not? Or is it all 2-ball?
I think it's nearly universally
Predominantly 2, is it?
Hong Kong still plays 3-bowl triples for their league.
Right.
Their winter league is 3-bowl. Again, I struggle when there's 18 or 17 bowls on the green.
Yeah, well played, Nathan.
There's a big bowl there, 2 down to 1 up.
we'll keep you up to date on the other semi-final. Well, my stat man will anyway. Won't you, Ian?
Oh, what? Sorry. Have to wake me up.
Thursday? Is
yes.
it Thursday? Friday?
We will keep you updated. Right, now it's been marked up, so I can let you know. Yeah. So England 3-0 up on Malaysia after 2 ends.
So Ian, Guernsey will be getting excited for next April?
We are. The work's been going on. I mean, we had the Island Games, which is a big event for us. A number of nations come over for multi-sport, but it's all for smaller entities, smaller islands, less than 100,000 people. So that work was actually good for the preparation work for the championships. Small things which we don't have to repeat, getting ready, but a bit of a practice event as well. So it's given us some learnings, and seeing how this is done and how Richie's doing his cameras and that here is also informative. So it's all good. We're having regular meetings with Will Bowles. So as always, we're not ready right now, but we will be come April. It'll be a good event.
Yeah, it will be.
Definitely looking forward to it. And on the volunteer side of things, we played our qualifiers just before we came away, and I went out in the knockout stages, so I won't be playing, so it means I'll be doing 14-hour days volunteering instead.
It's not bitter and twisted, Les, is he? He's not
No,
bitter. Yeah, there's nothing there.
sound
No, you've never touched a nerve there at all.
I'm not bitter and twisted about that. I'm bitter and twisted about you with the Werthers, and you keep putting the empty wrappers back
packets in. I know. Yeah, that's petty, isn't it? Petty. I found his petty. Alison, if you're listening, get the Werthers, stick the wrappers in if you want to do his head in. So how did they find the pace of the green then? Is it quicker than what they would be used to, or it would be about the same?
It's not quite, it's in between
Is
most
it?
of the indoors in Hong Kong. So it's probably a fraction slower than most.
Is it?
There's one indoor that's certainly a lot slower than this. The majority are probably half a second or maybe a second quicker.
Right.
But the pace and line, everything's good. The problem is there's nothing to blame when you're not close. So at least we can blame the wind or the greenkeeper
I know, yeah.
that sort of stuff. But here you can't blame too much.
You can take a few of the UK greens back with you if you want, you know.
I only have to worry about see the Hong Kong ones are as entertaining.
I watched a little bit of the Hong Kong Classic recently, and I'm looking at the grass. I'm saying I've seen better football pitches. But then Davey says that it's not grass. Is it a leaf?
Yeah, it's a wide leaf. So there are some outdoor. The two better outdoor greens have got a couch, which is a finer grass, but still quite high. But the flat leaf grass doesn't seem to be very resilient to footwork and pounding. So, did they have the dump mats out?
They did, yeah.
That's a new experience.
What, the dump match? Barry just playing.
That's a good set of bowls. Quite close here.
Played. So whereabouts from Durham were you from?
Can't remember.
God, where, man? It's got to be etched on your mind.
No.
God's country.
Cannot remember.
Chesty Street.
No.
All right, there you go. It's got a pride in your mind now.
Yeah, I'll get it before we finish.
About 7 o'clock tonight, you slap us on the back there and say, that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Anyways, they Googling or asking anybody, mind you.
No. I'd only actually been back there once when I was 10.
Right.
So that was it.
And I have told you that the two ladies are playing with, the lads are playing with, Ryan's got Evo 4s and Nathan's playing with Aero Quantum size 4. Well, he's gone for cover.
Nathan there's playing that quite hard weight. It's just whether once the bowl starts to bend, you're okay with it. But if you don't quite get the shoulder, it ends up making you look like you can't play.
Yeah. I thought you might have had a little double down the other side just to squeeze the jack.
Yeah.
To his wing ball, but
he's planning on using his bowl to do that.
Well,
body language is looking good.
Yep, on a better line. Just needs to get top side of it. Okay, try.
Nathan's body language is very obvious.
Is it?
When he's close.
Right.
Yeah. Generally, you can pick whether it's going to be narrow or wide by his body language. But when he's close and right on it, it's very easy to pick.
Side of the green's just been a little bit stiff from the couple of games that I've seen this morning, whether it's the temperature, I don't know. Well, another one to Ireland.
I'm pretty sure I've come up with it. I think it was a little place just out of Thornley.
Thornley. Oh, I'll have to get my map out to have a look at that when I get back in the...
That rings a bell from my parents talking about it.
I always say it's a small world, mate. Good that you still haven't got the twang like.
Yeah, it was all the slang that I knew.
Just going to move that up there because I'm getting wrong off somebody called Sylvia. There you are. Okay. Sylvia, I hope he's louder now. You're the first one that said it.
Okay. Yeah, my interesting with my parents and the slang and all the slang words that I understood, and when my wife, before I was married, my girlfriend would be there, and she could not understand a thing they were talking about. From Clardy bands to...
Oh, Clardy bands, aye, yeah. Aye. Great reply. Let's get a grab. Well, all down to pace.
It's looking fair.
Just got a peg out, yes.
There's a measure over there with England, Malaysia. I think England have had 3 bowls just taken out. So they've got at least 3.
Well, it's all down to pace. Just kind of tell with these balls.
No, these turn really hard late. I think the green might be a bit lopsided there. They're all one way. Everyone's just under the head.
Well, that's a wider line.
She may just come back. Not quite.
So what's the talk about the Commonwealth Games down under then? Because
Well,
it's
done.
nailed on the head, isn't it?
Yeah, so Victoria had grand plans for it being a regional Commonwealth Games,
right,
and Dan Andrews, the Premier, pulled the pin, which seemed to me very, very late, but pulled the pin. There was some talk about the Gold Coast maybe taking it on, but I think that's fallen through. So
it'd be sad for the sport.
I think
it'd be a killer
for every sport. Yeah. Like it's a key feature for most of the athletes, and it's disappointing for the athletes that have, you know, some of those that do their training programs, intense training programs, you know, 2 and 3 years, 4 years out, prepping for it, have got nothing. I just think it's back down to the cost of
I think it is,
the nations hosting it. So
I know when Birmingham hosted it, I think Birmingham it doubled the price, and they virtually went bankrupt, didn't it? I mean, I think they're talking about 3.6 billion to host it, and that got doubled to about 7.2. So
So it's nearly begs the question of, can they do back-to-back Com Games in the same country so they can get some return on their investment, and most of the technology they need
is in place,
it's in place, but it's probably still relevant in a 4-year time frame, whereas a lot have to get the latest and greatest bits for their swimming pools or surfaces or things like that, whereas if they could just use the facility for 2 Com Games, it might be viable. But it was going to be certainly for lawn bowls, was going to be very unique in being in regional Victoria.
Yes, yeah. I think it'll be a big blow to bowls in the UK, because the likes of Bowls England rely on funding from Sports England, and Sports Scotland rely on funding as well.
It's the biggest. It's the I suppose it's the second biggest bowls event after World Bowls.
Yeah.
But I think the Com Games is where most of the funding comes from.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It hasn't been one of my concerns with Hong Kong, because
no,
we're not there anymore.
No, you're not. That's right.
But so there's the China National Games.
Yeah.
But it doesn't include lawn bowls.
So
I suppose it's China's version of the Com Games, where they have all their provinces or states or whatever they call them competing. But lawn bowls is not there. It was going to be like an exhibition game. It was going to be a mixed triples, but the pin got pulled with COVID.
So while he's doing that measure, I'll update you over on Ring 3. England scored a 3 there for that measure. So 6-1 up against Malaysia after 4 ends.
So 1 Australia, 4-2. Going into end number 5.
So Australia favouring that long again.
Thanks, Sylvia. Sylvia was complaining she couldn't hear you, Les. You're much better now, I can tell it's in Aussie. Sylvia Thacker. So between the three of us, I'm sure there'll be one accent they can understand.
Well, you'd hope so.
Probably yours, not mine. Great start from Shauna.
So Richie, you gave a shout out to Gordon Woods before, also in the background doing the live scoring. So if you're watching this but also keeping an eye on the scores of the England game, that's being done by Anne Easton, all the live scores, so she's been here all day every day.
Has she?
Putting in the
Fair
hours.
Play. Well played. Yep.
Yeah, it's back open again for the draw. The pressure can come on here if Shauna can get straight back on top of that jack.
Just need to slow. Yep, bowls is definitely one of the few sports without volunteers who wouldn't have a sport. I think, go down to your grassroots without the people who open your clubhouse up and what have you. It's
Yeah.
Most sports at grassroots level, it's all volunteers.
yeah.
Well, the marker on the side of the rink showed 3 lollipops there, so 3 to Ireland.
Got a bit of a tail on it.
It's nearly all the way to the ditch.
Oh, there she goes. He needs to run. Just to run a touch more. No.
This looks a lot better. Bit stiff.
Still on to Ireland. He's on about a line again. I don't know his pace. It's got a tail on it. Big fat seam. No. Got a bit in it. So as a coach in the next of these events, do you like to get involved, or do you just take a back seat and wait until
No, I normally let the players come and tell me what they want. Most of it's about more encouragement and support than and validating their shot selection. Rather than, it's no use me telling
pointing them in the wrong.
What they should play, because I'm not playing it. They are.
Yeah.
So it's really a case of encouragement. When things are not going right, just to keep their heads up, but more validation of, yes, you're playing a really good shot. That was a good shot there too.
Yeah, I think that's...
Well, this is about the time, if I was back in Australia with the Bowls Premier League, I'd be pulling out the power play double shots when we play the Bowls Premier League.
The old double bubble, isn't it?
You'd need that here.
Yeah. It's just took us 40 years to get them to re-spot the jack, man. Didn't it be going down power play, for God's sake? I mean, we've still got whites here, man. Away, man.
Yeah, and substitutes.
And, have you got substitutes in Australia, haven't you?
Only for this event.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've got 3 members in your team for your...
Oh, for the BP, that's right,
BPL,
yeah. Oh, man, it's balls in the UK, you should know, it's like an oil tanker trying to turn.
Yeah. Oh, certainly Alex Marshall's a big fan of it. He loves it.
Yeah.
And, it's one of his favourite events by all accounts. That's a very good start. So I'm sure it's something that could take off here. When I see the darts, you see the stadiums where they're playing darts, and sometimes the Bowls Premier League has a similar type atmosphere. I just think it's something that would really take off here, with people just coming to watch a 1 hour game, high intensity, lots of noise, and it's good. I think the environment's right.
Yeah. I know Barry Hearn. Was it Barry Hearn? He had a go at balls on Sky many years ago, and he couldn't get it to work. They had a power play. They had the jack, and they had the flashing lights when you were going to play the power play.
Oh, okay.
Never took off. The purists of the sport, not having it.
Was it a little bit before its time? So now, do you think it's got more chance?
Yeah. But obviously that boat sailed now, because he's...
That one has, yes.
Yeah. Yes, there's definitely no brown shoes at BPL.
Got a lot to answer for, them bloody brown shoes, mate. I'll tell you, they've crippled many a person.
When I first started playing bowls, it was... brown shoes was the go. Anybody
grey
that
trousers, white shirt.
Anybody that wore white shoes was strange.
Oh, you're off. You were off.
Yeah. It had to be brown shoes. And creams.
Creams, that's right. County game, shirt and tie. Oh, blazer. Away, man. Give us a break, will you, nowadays? But, I mean, there's still people who prefer that side of it. It's fair play to them.
No, I think it's good.
Somehow I kind of see the 8 youngsters on here wearing a blazer and a shirt and tie.
Well, Jesse and Sean would have to be wearing their skirts from back then, or their dresses.
Oh, they would, yes, yeah. You wouldn't be able to show your knees, away. 3 pleats at the front, 2 at the back. Yeah. Give them the starch hatches now. Go the full hog. God help me if you didn't have them flesh-coloured tights on.
pressure's on here for Australia. They probably need to score a 3 this end to keep them in the hunt.
Over on the other one, what we got, 6 ends. So England have just got another one, so they're 7-2 up on 6 ends. So Malaysia need 5 just to get even a tie. And England have put basically 2 touches, so hard work for Malaysia. Well bowled there from Ireland.
Yeah, I think a tied set takes some of our fun away and not watching them stress with a tiebreaker. So if we have a tied set, then somebody wins in the next set.
Yeah.
Just 2 tied.
Oh,
2
yes,
tied
yeah,
sets. I've had it a couple of times.
Well, all down to Pierce.
I'm surprised we haven't seen one.
It's got the white.
It's got
oh, great play. Nice play.
That's a great shot.
Well, you called it, you need 3.
Yeah, and there's 1 bowl each to play, so that was a very timely bowl, so there's opportunities for both skips here. There's probably more pressure on Ryan to make a change here.
Yeah. Well, all down to Pierce if he gets down. Oh, he's in the area.
Definitely likes it.
He's got one of them.
There's still an opportunity of making a number if... Oh, don't be surprised if Nathan doesn't try to cut that toucher right out.
Can he see enough of it? Because we're from the side with our camera angle.
I think he may just be able to get back to it.
If he can. I mean, it's his only shot to make 3, so he's got to try it.
This is one of his signature shots. He likes playing this.
Force the white.
No, he's got the jack instead. So Nathan gave an opportunity there with his second bowl, but Ryan closed it out with his last one. Took away, I think, the opportunity to claim the set. I think a 4's possible, but I'm a bit doubtful.
Yeah.
Australia changing it this time, recognising that they've lost the last couple of longs, so they're going short.
So what age range would you say the general public in Australia tag onto the sport?
Driving a Volvo with the hat in the back is generally the go.
Is it?
Yeah, it's still sort of seen as old man's marbles.
Right.
I think it's changing. There's but I suppose the participation in bowls with younger people is more on a social side. So I think as with most of the countries, the membership of your playing members is tending to be declining.
Yeah.
But there's certainly a very alive atmosphere at bowling clubs on Sunday afternoons playing barefoot bowls.
Yeah.
And they're not bowler, they're just people having parties.
Yeah, having a beer and
fun.
Yeah.
So
how long will that barefoot bowls go on for? Is it a 2-hour session, or is it?
I think they just turn up and just throw bowls, and there's nothing really organised other than it's just bowls on the green and a few drinks and maybe a meal at some of the bigger clubs. There's a more formalised game where they might have night owls, which is, they'll play on a Wednesday or a Thursday night, just a group of friends, and they'll play a structured competition.
I've always said over here, but balls over in the UK will never get rid of the image. That's the biggest